with that down, let's jump on to this, shall we? You guys know that Peacemaker Season 2 is coming out next week, I believe. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. James Gunn was discussing the fact that there's going to be a lot of cameos in this. This is going to really set up the upcoming DCU, that it picks up right directly as a result of everything that happens in Superman. And we heard from some people that have seen it already and really enjoyed it. But now they've released a brand new trailer, and it is a red band trailer. It is so red band that it starts with James Gunn and John Cena sitting in a couple of director's chairs saying, here's the fucking Peacemaker red band trailer or whatever. And they go into it. And I love the trailer. I absolutely loved it. Now, granted, take that with a grain of salt that I'm also a big fan of season 1. Like, I thought season 1 was great. So this feeds right into it. I thought this worked so great. And the interdimensional being, the alien, whatever he is, that comes walking out. I don't know why I found this so funny. Because if I read this in a script, I don't know if I would have thought this is funny. But this, Peacemaker's in this interdimensional void, and just this alien looking dude just comes walking out that you see here in the picture. He just comes walking out. And it's just such a simple thing. John Cena, Peacemaker says good morning. Guy doesn't say anything, and Peacemaker's mad about it. I wouldn't have thought that sounds funny. But it's hilarious. And then they pick up on it later in the trailer. Get the fuck out of here. I always say hi to that guy, and he never says hi back. And they're like, I don't know why. I just thought that was one of the funniest things I've seen all month. I absolutely loved it. And by the way, they just goes on to talk about more of the stuff that they said about it. James Gunn recently teased how Peacemaker Season 2 ties into Superman. You've seen what we call the QUC, the Quantum Unfolding Chamber, in the first season of Peacemaker. And we see more about that technology in Superman, the filmmaker teased. The QUC is at the center of the story in Peacemaker Season 2. We see a lot of different characters from Superman in the season, including Isabella and Nathan, we already saw in the other trailer, Guy Gardner and Hawkgirl, and Sean as Maxwell Lord. And then we see a bunch of other characters later on in the season from other parts of the DCU and from Superman. Gunn continued. There might even be one really, really, really big cameo near the end of the show. A really, really, really big cameo at the end of the show. Now, you guys will remember that James Gunn kind of popped that zit in Peacemaker Season 1, when at the end he basically had the Justice League show up. So, Rob, when he says that I've got a really, really, really big cameo near the end of Season 2, I cannot help but wonder who or what he may mean by all that, and who he's referring to and all that kind of stuff. I have a theory, though, Rob. I have a theory.
What is your theory, John?
Here's my theory. So clearly there's multiple dimensions here, right?
Yep.
And James Gunn, all right, I'll say it. Henry Cavill's Superman. I'm going to say it. Henry Cavill's Superman. Because remember, there's multiple dimensions in here. James Gunn has been mentioning Henry Cavill lately, particularly talking about, all the events that led up to how some other people screwed over Henry Cavill by making him think he was coming back when that was never the plan, and all that kind of stuff. And James Gunn and Peter Safran talking about how much they love, my boy Henry, and how much they respect him and how much they'd like to work with him and all that kind of stuff. These are two different universes. And if they had him kind of pop up at the end, that would be the most James Gunn thing in the world to do. Now again, I don't know. I've got no inside information that that's what's happening at all. None. I'm just saying, if he's saying that, like, he had Justice League pop up at the end of the first season. If he's talking about a really, really, really big cameo, we just had Superman. Like, we just had David Cornsweet Superman. I wouldn't see that as this big, huge, total shock and surprise. We have other characters from Superman already in it. I mean, I suppose it could be Supergirl, or it could be Lobo. Oh my God. Rob, there's the other one. Because remember, at the end of Peacemaker Season 1, the big moment is Jason Momoa, fuck you, Barry. What if Lobo shows up with some random guy named Barry and just says, fuck you, Barry, again? That would kind of kill. That would be really good. I'd like that one too. But seriously, other than I just can't at this point wrap my head around who he could be talking about as this really, really big cameo. But anyway, Rob, you had a chance to see the trailer, the new R Band trailer. What stood out to you? What did you think about it? And who do you think this really, really, really big cameo is at the end of season 2?
Well, I think the trailer was a hoot. You know, it's obviously it's bigger, it's grander, there's more stuff happening. It ties into the new DC universe. I'm excited. I love the first season. I can't wait to see it. It looks like peak Gunn. It looks like a hell of a good time. But in terms of the cameo, I think if you're going to they're building a universe now. So to backpedal, we already know that Lobo and Supergirl, I think, you know what I think they're going to do? Batman. They're going to introduce
That's
the Batman.
the only other one I can think of. But Gunn,
he said really, 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 really big cameo.
I don't know.
Here's the thing. I think that fits. That fits. The only reason I don't think it'll be Batman, although that would totally fit into that description, is because they've wrapped season 1. Like they've wrapped on Peacemaker. They're all off making other things now. And James Gunn just recently insisted they have not yet cast their Batman. I mean, he could be lying. But normally when Gunn comes out and says things definitively like that, like we have not cast our Batman yet, I don't think he's fibbed yet. I mean, I suppose he could, but Batman would certainly fit into that sort of thing. Like the other thought is another major one, like maybe Wonder Woman, but I don't think they have their Wonder Woman yet. Who else? I don't know. Darkseid shows up. I don't know. Does Peacemaker kick Darkseid in the balls or something? I just can't. Like, can you think of anybody else that could fall into that category other than
not the way he was talking about it? Because when he's saying really, 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 he's talking about the audience. Like cameos are cameos, but when he says really, 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 really big cameo, he's referring to what the audience would think is a big cameo.
Right. 100%.
Unless he's talking about like, because they mentioned Lex in the trailer, unless it's just Lex.
But I
hate to say just because that? It's a cameo. It's not a new appearance. He didn't say there would be a debut.
But I think a really, really, really big cameo would be somebody we haven't seen.
I agree. I'm just saying, I'm trying to set myself up for like, okay, cool. This is measured.
Totally.
You know? I don't want to be hurting.
Keep those expectations.
Somebody in the live chat saying Penguin. That would actually be pretty cool. Colin Farrell walks in.
Like a different,
but again, it's not about their universe. Right. It's about someone else's universe.
DCEU and the DCU.
And I think that their big cameo has got to be something that furthers their universe.
Well, I mean, yesterday we talked about how James Gunn, when asked directly, is Margot Robbie going to come back as Harley Quinn? He said that will be announced later.
Yeah.
Margot Robbie.
Maybe that's how she gets into the DCU. She goes with them.
Yeah, maybe.
Somehow. I don't know.
All right, guys. Question is for you. What did you think of the new trailer, the new Red Band trailer for Peacemaker Season 2? I thought it was hilarious. I cannot wait for this show to come back. And who do you speculate could be who James Gunn is talking about when he says they've got a really, really, really big cameo coming? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.